Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we're standing in a field of blueberries. In the fog, mind you. Now, I don't know why I decided Sleuth is going to be miniaturized, the blueberries are going to be almost, half his size, and is just somehow sitting in this surreal landscape and totally cool with it. Certainly I would be freaking out. But I imagine they're going to be very tasty blueberries just looking at them. So you can clearly see from the thumbnail, from the name, that this is a fog puzzle. And I read a comment recently that it is some of the regular viewers' favorite type, and I would tend to agree. I think they solve in a particular way that's highly enjoyable. So let's take a look at today's puzzle. We've got Blueberry Crop in the Fog by Olima. I think I pronounced that okay. And we have a very short set of rules compared to yesterday, where essentially the font size had to be shrunk so much that I'm not even sure it was legible for you guys. But let's take a look at this handful of rules, and certainly that competition between constructors about how much of the puzzle can be covered in fog continues. Although Olima is clearly a little bit behind with at least one cell that somehow is going to help us solve this entire puzzle already uncovered for us. So, normal Sudoku rules applies, so that means the digits 1 to 9 in every row, in every column, and every 3 by 3 box, fairly standard. Blue squares are box indexing, i.e. a digit A at position B of a box indicates a B at position A. Now, because we're given just the one square for now, I'm really tempted not to use it and try something else. Let's just color this one as that blueberry. So essentially this is in, if you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and if I say this is a 5, I'm going to make sure that I'm using pencil marks here. What that's saying is there is an 8, because this is position 8, at position 5 because I've put in a digit 5 in here. So that would be the 8. And we've featured other indexing puzzles. I think they tend to be awkward to wrap your mind around, but I imagine this is going to be kind of helpful for us to actually figure out what we're meant to be doing with this single cell here. Now, what else do we have? Black dots indicate the digits in a 1 to 2 ratio. You can clearly see there's a handful of dots in here. So if that happens to be a 2, for example, then this would be 1 or 4, because they need to be in a 1 to 2 ratio. And I guess because we can actually see 2 dots, this would have to be 1 or 4 again. We also have white dots. So imagine if these were white rather than black. So if that was a 2 with the same example, this would be 1 or 3. 1 because that's still consecutive to the 2, and the 3, of course, rather than the 4, because that's the one that's consecutive. And same again in here. Now, no negative constraints applies because not all dots are given. So that's the rule set. If you feel like wandering through a blueberry crop in the fog, clearing it all up, finding all these delicious blueberries, link will be in the description down below if you want to play along. And with that said, let me restart the clock and see how I fare. And the beauty about fog puzzles is it clearly tells you where you should be looking. So we know that this is a run of 3 digits at a minimum of black cropky dots. So this has to be from 2 or 4, because it's either 1, 2, and 4, for example, or it could be 2, 4, and 8. Now, the fact that this is an indexing cell, this is position 8 in the box, and because this is 2 or 4, it tells us that there's an 8 either in position 2 or position 4, and there's an 8 corner pencil marks as a result. And that tells us that this is not 1, 2, or 4. This has to be a 2 surrounded by 1, 4, because if it was a 4, that would have been 2, 4, 8, And essentially the 8 we know has to be somewhere in here. Let's see what else. We've got a white crop key dot next. Well, we know that the 3 is not here because 2 and 4 are not available, so the 3 is somewhere in there. If I think about it, actually, is this only 5 and 6? Could be 7. It's not 9. So this is 5, 6, or 7 with definitely a 6 in here. How's that enough information to help us solve this? Oh, excuse me. The 2 is obviously indexing the 8. That's the 8. Excuse me. There we go. Right, and that's indexing 5, 6, or 7. It is clearly not indexing a 7. Well, sorry, this is position 3. So the 3 is either in 5, 6, or 7. It can only be in 5 because all of these are already pencil marked. So that's the 5. Therefore, that's the 6. And this is the 3. Lovely. Now, this could only either be an 8 and a 4. Yeah, it can only be an 8 and a 4 because 3, 6 are looking at this cell. We've already pencil marked 1, 2, and 4 in here. That's 8. That's 4. Brilliant. Let's carry on. We've got to focus on these blueberries. We've already pencil marked 1, 2, and well, it's not a black crop key dot. I don't know what I'm saying. 8. This is positioning number 8. It's in position 7, so that's got to be a 7. We already got an 8 in this next to this white crop key dot, so that's got to be a 6, a 5. That's positioning 7, and it's telling us it's in cell 5. That's the 7. We now have here a 3, 9 pair. Clearly the 3 has to be next to the black crop key dot. Otherwise, if it's a 9, this would be 4.5 or 18, neither of which is possible. This is now a 6. It's indexing number 2 at position 6. There we go. This is not 3 or 6. This is not 1 or 2 or 2, 4. This is a 4, 8. Excuse me. So what's that telling us? That's position 8. So if I put a 4 in here, that's telling us there's an 8 there, which is nonsense. So that has to be the 8. That's the 4. That's not a 7 because that's up there. That's a 9, an 8. That's telling us number 1 or digit 1 is in position 8. It's down here. Sorry, I'm a little bit distracted by my dogs who are busy licking their feet at the moment, and I kind of need to pay a bit of attention to them. Another blueberry. What's that saying now? So it's position 9. 9 can't be here. So it's indexing number 9, which could be any of 4, 5, 6. Well, not 6 because it's there. Or 7 or 8. So it's 4, 5, 7, or 8 in here. It's a very long list. Now, if that's an 8, that can't be right. Let me think this through. That's a lot of things that it could be. So this is 3, 4, 6, and somehow these two are connected here. That's not a 3 actually, because that would require a 6 in here, so that's not true. This could be, as a result, either a 3, so 6, 3, 4 is solid. It could also be a 2, which isn't possible because there's nothing connecting it, or an 8. So, and the 8 would be joined with a 7, that's not an 8. The 3 would be joined with a 4, that's not a 5, you can't reach it from 3 or 8. So this is 4 or 7, so one of these is a 9. And we actually don't know which one is correct, because that can be 4, 3, 6, or 7, 8, 4. Right, so that's not the next step. What else do we know about this? Maybe a bit of Sudoku. What do we need to fill in here? We need to fill in 2, 4, which are clearly going to be Well, actually 2 can only go in here. 4 is not there. That's the 4. Therefore, this is a 6, a 3, a 4. That's telling us the 9 is in here. Lovely. That's an 8. And it's telling us as a result this is a 6. We'll take a look at what this is in a second. We know what this digit is now. That's a 5. Maybe a bit of Sudoku to clean some of this up. 6 is definitely on this side because we've got kind of these two 6s. Eliminating it from here. And this 6. There we go. We now have 1, 4. That's the 4. We've cleared the fogs at the top part of the puzzle. And an 8 and a 1. That's an 8. That's the 1. That's the other one. We know what all of these are. This is 3, 7, and 9, I'm going to say. And we know what all of these are. 1, 2, 3, 5, and 7, except this is not a 3. So clearly we're back to this blueberry here to tell us what it is. It's telling us where the 2 is in box 7. 2 is in none of these locations, because for these 2s. So it's either in position 1, 4, or 3. Not 3, because I can't put a 3 in here, so it's either 1 or 4. That's 1 or 4. And therefore there's a 2 in here. There's a 2 in there. All right, maybe that isn't the way to go ahead. Bit more Sudoku, I guess. We know that 2 is in here for sure. In fact, what does this row need? It needs 2, 9, and 5. That's 2, 5. That's the 9. We know, therefore, we actually definitely know what this is. This is a 7. And these have to be 1, 3, and 9. Except that's not a 3 because of this 3 here. What are these? So, can I even put a 1 on here? I think so. 1, 2. 1, 2. Actually, here's something better. 4, 4, and 4. Creating the following shape. And telling us there's definitely a 4 in here. So that's either a 4 with a 2 or 4 with an 8. And seemingly both for now are possible. Sorry, 3, 9. I removed the wrong digit there. That's 1, 9. It's going so smoothly. I don't know why suddenly it's stalling. 8s maybe. No, 8s is all of these cells. Not very helpful. 6s. This 9 is telling us that's not the 9. What am I missing? I'm sure it's going to be like do a bit of Sudoku. For example, 7s have to be here. Oh, no, they don't actually. How about interesting. It's not so obvious at the moment for me. 8s, 8. It's really not very helpful. 2s. Right, 8 tells us 8 can only be in here. Therefore, this is a 2, 4. That's not the 2, that's the 2. This can only be 1 or 4. That's the 1, that's the 4, that's the 2. That's all the fog gone now. 8s are in here as well. Not hugely helpful. 2 is looking up here. That's 5, that's 2. I still don't know what this is. This is the 1. This is 5 or 7 in a row. This one looks up here. Of course, not helping us solve what's up there. We know that there's a 1 in here between these two cells, but can't disambiguate them. I mean, we're basically down to Sudoku at this point, aren't we? We've done... I mean, that's the last blueberry. Maybe I should look at this very quickly. So this is indexing number 6. 6 can only be either in 4 or 8. Can't be a 4. That's the... Sorry, 4 or 7. Excuse me. And therefore that's a 6. Has this 7 done anything for us? Not really. Other than... Well, hasn't really done a huge amount for us. But the 6, not really. The 7 just tells us this is now a 7. 5. None of these are 5s. Okay, let's see what else we can complete. This is 1, 3, 5, and 9. This is 3, 9. Actually, the 9 is looking here. That's the 3, that's the 9. That's the 7, 3. This was 1, 5. That's the 5. That's the 1. That's a 4, 1. We should know what this is. This is a 4. We know what these are. This is 8 and 3. And we know what these are. This is 5 and 9. And we know where they go. That's the 5, that's the 9. Therefore, this is a 3, 8, 3, 8. None of these are 3. Can't disambiguate the 7 and 9 at the moment. That's 7 or 9. That's 7, 9, 7. We know we need a 1 and a 6. And we don't know which is which yet. 1, 2. We need 3, 5, and 9. Goodness. A lot of things that are still not resolved. Yeah, I haven't missed anything. 2, 5, and 6, it seems. That's the 2. That's the 5. That's the 6. That's the 9. 3, 5. This 9 gives us the 1, the 3, the 9 up there. Finally, the 6, the 1. And if I've not made any mistakes, a 7 to finish. Whoops, not a 7. I have made a mistake. Sorry. Where did I make a mistake? All right. Quick reversing. Reversing. How much am I reversing? That definitely looks like 1 and 6 to me. So I'm just going to do a bit of this. That is a 7. I am duplicating the 7. That can't be right. How did I end up with a 7 in here? So this was indexing 6. 6. Because of these, was in none of these. So it's either a 4 or a 7. The 4 was looking at this, so this had to be a 7. What if I delete all of these, delete that? Well, that had to be the 8, surely. And the 2 and the 4 I remember was solid. This was solid, this was solid. So where am I going wrong? This 7 was looking in here. This is solid. So that's 1, 6, 9, 3, 1. That definitely left an 8 in here. This is 7 or 9. We've got a 9 looking at it. So that's definitely the 7. Therefore, that's the 9. That's the 7. That's the 3. Right, we've got 2 7s here. And we've broken it. Whoa. I really don't want to reverse that much. 4, 2, 7, 6, 2, 8, 5. Yeah. 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 So the blueberries are correct. We know all the way up to this point because we cleared the fogs with it, so that gives us a bit of confidence in terms of the digits that have been placed. So I just messed up Sudoku. Dear oh dear. Right. Up to this point, I was reasonably happy. Why do I say this is 3 and 9? Because it's not 5. It's not. It could be 1. Can it be 1? So it's definitely 9. That 9 is here. It's definitely 9. This is not 5. This could be 1 or 3. I assumed it was 3. And here it's 1, 3, or 5. Don't know why I assumed it was a 3. That may be what I made as a mistake. It's not 1. What are these two digits? We've got 5 and 9. Therefore a 3. 7 and 9 again. We knew that there's an 8 in here. 1, 2. We need 3, 8, and 4. 4 is not here. Neither is the 3 actually, so that is the 8. So we've got a 3, 4 pair in there. And this is 7, 8, 9. That's the 7. That's still correct. That's the 8 and the 9. So all of that is looking good. This is 1 or 6. That's still correct. 3s. So 3 is here. 5 or 9. Got a 3, 9 pair, so we should be able to place whatever this is. That's the 6. Where does the 7 go? The 7 definitely goes in here. 3, 1. Not 1 or 3. That's the 5. That's the 3. That's the 7. That's looking a lot better now. 2 and 8. Sorry, 2 and 5. That's the 5. That's the 2. Should have everything to solve it now. 5 is looking up here. Yep, 3, 9, 5. 9 is looking up there. 3, 1, 9. And therefore 6 and 1. I've got enough to definitely solve this now. And now I will say, if I've not made any mistakes, that's a solution to today's puzzle. I mean, Olima is a phenomenal puzzle. Excuse the amateur mistake that I made there, assuming it was a 3-9 rather than confirming it. But I loved it. I mean, fogs, blueberries, phenomenal. And you just sort of led us all the way through to being able to clear the fog with all of these. It's just fantastic. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's puzzle. I hope that your solve was a little bit smoother than mine, without a few amateur mistakes such as this one. But hope you enjoyed it, and see you back for the next video. Bye for now.